That might be the worst loss I've seen in the Kyle Shanahan tenure. Just in the sense of what the 49ers are supposed to be and the circumstances heading into that game with the guys that were out for Arizona. That was probably his worst loss. The 49ers are extremely healthy right now. Like, and again, we've made a lot of excuses for Kyle Shanahan in the past, having a lot of different guys out due to injuries and whatnot. But 49ers are actually fairly healthy and they weren't able to win and they got completely outcoached. All right. So let's talk about it. Again, 49ers lose 31-17 at home. Still can't find a way to get a victory at Levi Stadium. Yeah, Colt McCoy, who had 4 incompletions on the day. Repeat that. Colt McCoy had 4 incompletions on the day. This was we talked about D'Amico Ryans against the Chicago Bears, and I've been big on D'Amico Ryans saying, you know what, I feel like a lot of his game plans, and that's how I view it, right? Like, what's the game plan, and then how do you adjust and things like that. And I felt like up to the Bears game, I've been thinking that D'Amico Ryans, his game plans have been pretty good. They've been sound. They've been solid. The Bears game, I thought he came out and I thought he maybe overvalued how good maybe he thought the 49ers pass rush would do against the Chicago Bears offensive line, which has been very bad. So I could see what the game plan was. The game plan was we're just going to rush forward, we're going to drop guys in the coverage, and we're going to get pressure and move and consistently move Justin Fields off of his spots, right? Like that's what it looked like to me. What that was the game plan against the Bears. And obviously it didn't work, right? Like the 49ers pass rush just didn't get there. So he was wrong, right? He miscalculated how good he felt like that 49ers pass rush was. But I could see it, right? And that was the first time where I'm like, your game plan, D'Amico Ryan's like, it was off. It was off that game. This game, it wasn't just off. Like there were no answers for anything. There were no answers for anything. And the Arizona Cardinals and Cliff Kingsbury did an amazing job of coming out and really having a game plan and executing it. It wasn't really like a whole lot of, I mean, they picked and choose their downfield shots. When I look back at this and how Arizona attacked the 49ers, I know a lot of people are going to say 49ers cornerbacks are terrible. And I saw somebody already, Drake Kirkpatrick, terrible. Josh Norman, terrible. I've already seen those. I don't think the cornerbacks were the issue in this game. That's not what the Arizona Cardinals attacked. They attacked them laterally at the line of scrimmage, sideline to sideline with a bunch of screens. They had some really big screen plays. They did a really good job with the trick play where you had a receiver, whoever it was, throw the ball downfield to a guy named Wesley, whoever the hell he is. Um, so you had that happen, right? And that was Tavon Wilson that kind of got lost in coverage, safety. There was a screen that went to the house, and that was the first time, not the first time that I noticed this. We talked about it. Talanoa Hufanga, he lacks speed. And I remember, and we broke it down on this account. If you go back, like to like maybe right after the draft, we did like a film study for about an hour and some change on Hufanga. And one of the big takeaways was that that lack of speed, it's a real thing with him. It's a real thing with him. And I was worried about when teams started to, because in preseason they're not doing that, right? Like in preseason they're not really game planning, so now they're not going to look to put Hufanga in a bind. There was a screenplay he got ran off on, and I was just like, well, he's not fast enough to be able, and they scored. That was tough, but that wasn't the last time they attacked Hufanga. There was a play where you had Christian Kirk. He had the 50-yard play, right? And they knew that if they line him up in a certain spot and he runs his over route, who would be running with him? All right, they knew it would be Hufanga that would be down there, and it was. And he just ran away from him. But that's who Hufanga is. He can't really run with guys like that, especially guys like Christian Kirk or any other speedster that somebody decides to put there. So he got attacked. I thought ultimately the safeties got attacked a lot, and the linebackers kind of inside the side stuff. I did not think the 49ers cornerbacks were the ones that got picked on in this game. So we can say, yeah, Josh Norman, what the hell are you doing? That's a boneheaded thing or whatever. Talking trash to the coach, they throw a flag. I used to talk trash to coaches as well. So I like it, but you can't get flagged for it. Uh, but then when your guys are trying to reel you in, you have guys like Tavon Wilson, and he's like, bro, like, chill. And you're not. They sat him down. I wouldn't be surprised if he's cut this week. If Josh Norman's cut, wouldn't be surprised at all.